Wolfe Glick just won the biggest Pokemon tournament of all time again, and really brought an interesting team that is utilized his strengths, featuring Perish Song with Koraidon. We're going to be trying out this team and seeing how well it can perform. This is a recreation of Wolfe Glick's team that was able to win EUIC. Let's break it down. First, we have the Koraidon with the Life Orb and the Terrifier, and it is a very strong mod. His take was very different from the common Koraidon that we see, usually the clear amulet to prevent the intimidates, any speed drops from Icy Wind, and more. But this Koraidon ended up going with a Life Orb set. It's really meant to just do as much damage as it possibly can and get those KOs with Terrifier, Flare Blitz in the sun, alongside a close combat that can just dish out so much damage. It is a max speed Koraidon with max attack, I'm pretty sure. It's just able to do so much with that flame charge that's able to press like booster energy mons that are speed booster, Caloric Shadow Riders, and more after one flame charge. It is absurdly powerful with that Life Orb set. And we commonly see the clear amulet, but when you have Gothitelle with Shadow Tag, as well as you're trying to pick up a quick knockout so you can set up the Perish Song endgame, it just makes so much sense to run that Life Orb to get that extra damage and ensure the knockout. So really strong, powerful set. I'm pretty sure it's just going to be max speed, max attack. It's really just supposed to be a wall breaker that's supposed to pick up that quick knockout of the game and dish out as much damage as possible. It makes so much sense having the sun as well that's able to set up Koraidon, because of Perish not having the best matchup against Urshifu being able to hit through Heat Protect. So having a mod that's able to weaken the power surging strikes make it question if it wants to even be brought into the games, because this team is designed to help really well against Urshifu, especially with the sunlight up. It can be very strong at that. Next Pokemon we have is going to be the Focus Sash Fluttermane with the Photosynthesis and the Speed Booster with just max special attack, max speed, and a Terra normal set. Overall, Fluttermane is able to do a lot. It's not Perish Song on this Fluttermane, but just able to dish out quite a bit and be an offensive mode with the Koraidon. Usually Focus Sash Fluttermane would suffer with Urshifu, again with Searching Strikes, be able to break through Focus Sashes. However, since you do have that sun from Koraidon, you can run any item, and having a mon that can just stick around on the field for one turn guaranteed with that Focus Sash is able to throw off some powerful Icy Winds for speed control, especially against like Tailwind stuff with that Photosynthesis, Speed Booster in the sun, allowing Fluttermane to outspeed a lot of things even under Tailwind. It's just really good. You have that Terra normal option, which is great, of course, against the ghost types, especially the Shadow Rider matchup, and you have Shadow Ball to threaten it as well, and Icy Wind for speed control method, which is very helpful for Koraidon to outspeed Pokemon that it might not be able to otherwise. The Moonblast is a powerful fairy type attack, and yeah, just able to help enable Koraidon so it can pick up a KO, dish out as much damage as possible, and then set up for a really strong late game. Next Pokemon we have is the Gothitelle with the Shadow Tag and the Leftover set and the Terra Water. It makes so much sense that Gothitelle is going to be on this team with the Shadow Tag, of course, an ability that's just incredibly broken because it is able to prevent your opponent from switching unless they're ghost type or have a specific item, but we just don't see that in VGC. So yeah, just having that Shadow Tag ability trap Pokemon in, and it can be very effective. Leftovers on the Gothitelle because it can constantly heal, which is pretty nice. And of course there is Calyxes in the format, so as one will prevent the Gothitelle from healing from eating a citrus berry, so have leftovers that can be able to stack recovery, which can be very useful. The Terra Water, great against Urshifu. Rapid Strike, great against Koraidon, great against Calyx Ice Rider, Kyogre, and more. It's just a very good defensive typing. You have the Psychic for the damage output, the Fake Out support that can help enable the Perish Song, as well as stall out turns, alongside even set up Koraidon for dishing out a bunch of damage. Taunt, which is useful to help stop Trick Rooms, and the Amoonguss, if they are a factor on the team, can be something that can be shut down using that taunt, but just to prevent any sort of redirection potentially and more, can be very helpful for the rest of the team. And then Protect, of course, to stall out the Perish counters and stack up the Leftovers recovery while being annoying with that Shadow Tag. Again, keeping Gothitelle on the field as long as possible is very necessary. And this Gothitelle can be really useful on both the Perish mode as well as just an offensive mod to trapping Koraidon. If you trap in Incineroar and then you switch into Koraidon, you don't have to worry about Intimidate, which is beautiful. And then you just get your free picking knockout with Close Combat or a Terrifier Flare Blitz. It's just really strong support with Koraidon because you have to be not only scared of the Perish mode, but you also have to be scared of the offensive potential of Koraidon being trapped in against it. Next Pokemon we have is the Screamtail with the Photosynthesis and the Booster Energy. Of course, the Sun does give the Photosynthesis boost to Screamtail, but there are a lot of cases where you might need that Booster Energy lead without having the Sun available to you. So having that Booster Energy as a backup can be very nice. The Terra Dark option is great against Calc Shadow Rider, the Psychic and the Ghost type moves, as well as the Prankster Encores and the taunts from Pokemon like Whimsicott and Tornadus. Overall, the Screamtail, really powerful threat with that speed booster. This Screamtail is EV just in case that you don't have the Sun and the Booster Energy was consumed. It's still going to be faster than Pokemon like the base 100s, which is what this Screamtail is designed to be faster than. The Encore Disable, of course, really powerful against a lot of Pokemon, especially for setting up the Perish mode, and of course against a lot of choice mons in the format like Miraidon, Scarlet, Urshifu, and more. It's just able to be really bulky with its incredible bulk stats in general. It's high HP, its defenses are really high, as well as its speed, and doesn't really need an attack move because you're going for Perish Song usually for a cleanup. So if you catch your opponent slacking, that Perish Song can be great in the beginning, or could be really good in a late game scenario after Koraidon has gone down. Next Pokemon we have is going to be the Incineroar, a true classic with Intimidate, Safety Goggles, and the Terra Bug option. So it makes a lot of sense to run the Terra Bug option on this team, specifically because Landorus Incarnate is a very strong Pokemon with Earth Power and Sandstorm Storm, and this team does not have a ground resist. So having an option for Landorus Incarnate being able to take the ground type attacks and resist them, alongside still being able to resist the common fighting type attacks such as the body press and close combats, is still very helpful. This Incineroar is running Flare Blitz over Knockoff because you don't really have to get rid of items. The Flare Blitz is actually very powerful in the Sun, so it can help clear away some Pokemon like a Fluttermane and a Moongus under the Sun, so it can still be a very good offensive tool while still being a great pivot with Protect and Fake Out, of course, for Perish counters and parting shots to maneuver the board. Final Pokemon we have is the Amoonguss with the Regenerator and the Mental Herb. We're also running the Terra Dark option just in case, again, Prankster Encore and the Prankster Taunt, as well as useful for the Psy Spam combinations as well. And that Mental Herb can be very nice because Taunt is something that is to be considered, as well as Encore. You don't have to commit your Terra if you don't have to, because that Mental Herb will allow Amoonguss to be able to ignore those Taunt options and go for the Spores still and the Rage Power support. The Amoonguss is running Sludge Bomb for more offensive coverage in general, so you're able to hit and punish some Pokemon like the Terra Fairy on the Miraidon, for instance, and it's able to do some decent chip damage while supporting the rest of the team, of course, with Spore and Rage Powder for positioning. With this team, it's very complicated. The way you play it is you have two main different modes, of course, with the Koraidon offensive mode and the Perish Song mode, and you can usually combine both of them too, because you can even lead with Koraidon and Fluttermane and then set up for like a Perish Song endgame after you got to the knockout, or you could lead Perish and then have Koraidon clean up. There's a lot of ways you could utilize this team. It's really about positioning Koraidon for really strong damage, as well as the Screamtail Perish Song game. You have a lot of different things that can be utilized. A Shadow Tag with Gothitelle is always super threatening because you have to be fearful of being locked in, and then getting Perish, getting Encore disabled, getting the Koraidon getting knocked out by it. There's so much that you have to worry about. There are a lot of different leads: Koraidon Fluttermane, Koraidon Incineroar. You could lead Screamtail, but I would say Screamtail usually is in the back for a Perish mode, and Gothitelle can even lead with Koraidon. It's just so powerful. Amoonguss can lead, of course. There's so many different combinations you can do, and a lot of ways you can try to manage the board. If you would like to check out the details of the recreation, they'll be linked down below in the description. And of course, if you want to check out Wolfe, he'll probably have a full rental code, as well as the original EV spreads will be available probably on his Patreon. So make sure you go check him out down below in the description. All right, we have Urshifu, Farigiraf, Miraidon, Whimsicott, Ogerpon, Heartflame, and Ironheads. Pretty standard build. This is the team that's been, of course, that won the World Championship. Could be Dark Urshifu instead of Water Urshifu. We don't know, but all right. But I want to approach this because I did watch the game between Wolfe and Luca, and it was pretty difficult. I feel like there were definitely things that could have definitely have swung either player's way. I think if I remember right, Koraidon plus Incineroar was really good with like Screamtail plus Gothitail in the back. Flutter would actually be nice though, I feel, but I do gotta be careful about the Ogerpon Heartflame. All right, I think we do go Koraidon though. Koraidon plus Incineroar doesn't seem too bad. And then in the back, I do want to bring the Gothitail and the Screamtail. I think I'm going to try it out. Let's see. Because he can't perish immediately because there is the Miraidon that just is so difficult to handle. You got to get rid of Miraidon quickly. Let's find out. Gonna try it and see how well it performs. We could lose turn 1. I think it's a lot about the Miraidon guessing game. If we get to play wrong on Miraidon, it could go really poorly. So let's see how this is going to go. I wonder what they're going to lead next to the Miraidon, because I assume Miraidon always leads. This Miraidon Whimsicott lead. Interesting. Okay. Versus the Incineroar and the Koraidon. All right. I mean, I think I'll take this. I don't think this is too bad. I'm pretty sure I could just go for a Flame Charge into Whimsicott and fake out the Miraidon. Although, I guess like if they have Farigiraf in the back, they could switch into Farig, but I just don't think that would be a play that they have. I do have a few ways I could pivot the maneuver. I do kind of like the Flame Charge idea on the Whimsicott. Yeah, I wouldn't mind it. Trying to think. Or do I just go for the big damage into the Miraidon? I feel like I do go for the Flame Charge into Whimsicott. I think I pick up the knockout and then I just fake out the Miraidon. As long as they don't go into the... Alright, so that's for Rig on that slot is okay. Iron Hands, that's fine. That's fine. All right. Iron Hand's going to come out, which is absolutely acceptable. We are going to see the Arc Drive activate. Get the attack boost, but we do go for the fake out into the Iron Hands, and Tailwind does come out from the Whimsicott. Okay, so I do get the Flame Charge, which is going to impact the speed here, which is pretty big. So here comes the Flame Charge into the Whimsicott, picks up the knockout, and now we have a +1 speed. So that helps in our Perish Song game potentially, but we'll figure out how we manage the rest from here. I guess the question is, do I probably want to save Incineroar more than Gothitail, I'd say. Yeah, I'd probably want to save the Incineroar for the Intimidate. I think that this is probably Electric move coming into the Incineroar, but yeah, we are just going to go for the Protect with our Koraidon, and we're going to swap out our Incineroar, go out into that Gothitail, I think. I think this is the best play. But we'll find out, because I really would like to pin the Miraidon the next turn, which I think is pretty massive. So we will go for a Protect with Koraidon. Let's see what they decide to go for. They didn't Terra. This is probably just an Electric move. Yep, Electro Drift into Gothitail is fine. Okay. So Gothitail goes down. Absolutely fine, as I said before. And we're going to see low kick come out into what was the Koraidon slot. Okay, I don't think this is too bad, as I mentioned before. So I think I'm going to go out into Incineroar. Then I think I take the knockout on the Iron Hands, right? Perish is a bit hard to accomplish here. I don't know. I think I should have probably read it. Like, I did read them probably going for the Electric move into Gothitail. Protect was a bit obvious there, but trying to figure out, okay, what is the best maneuver here? I do think I always fake out. The question is, am I going for a Terra Flare Blitz KO into Iron Hands, or am I just taking the fake out Flame Charge into Miraidon, which could be the play here? It should be Ogerpon back, right? I think it'd probably be Ogerpon back. If it's Ogerpon back, then I think I have a guaranteed win by going for the KO into Iron Hands this turn. So I'm going to Flare Blitz the Iron Hands, and I'm going to fake out the Miraidon. Yes. Because then Screamtail should be able to guarantee seal the game afterward. Yes, I think that'd be correct. Because I think it has to be Ogerpon Heartflame, because you need the offensive damage output into the Gothitail or in the Screamtail. So we do get the fake out off into Miraidon, as Miraidon does flinch. We are going to get a Life Orb Flare Blitz into Sun with Terrifier. This should easily KO the Iron Hands. The recoil is not pretty, but we should be able to hang on a little bit. So let's see. Yeah, we actually take it a lot better than I thought we would, actually. Okay. So this should be the Ogerpon Heartflame coming in. Yep. Okay. All right. So there's one more turn of Tailwind they have here. I'm a bit worried because I only have a few turns of Sun, but this should be manageable. I think, do I go for the double protect here or do I sack instant? I feel like I think I always just go for a double protect here. Yeah, I think I always go for the double protect. Yes, I always go for a double protect and I close combat the Miraidon, I think. Yeah, no, that should guarantee the win. Okay. Unless they decide, hey, I'm going to Terra Fairy the Miraidon here, which they do have a Terra still. I do have to respect that they have Terra. I don't know if it's going to be Ogerpon or not, but unless the Miraidon is max speed and we speed tie, I mean, the fake out damage should be putting the Miraidon in range of close combat. I'm going to go for the close combat of Miraidon, and I'm going to go for a parting shot because this is probably going to be the spiky shield from the Ogerpon, or they could go for follow me. We do see a Terra come out here. Oh, if this is Miraidon and they attack aggressively with the Ogerpon, this is bad. They go for Terra Fairy. I'm really hoping that they might go for a spiky shield here, but let's see. Okay, nice. That's really good. That's really good. Okay, we're fine. We get a close combat off into the Miraidon. The camera shake there. The camera shake there. All right. Electro Drift. This is into the Koraidon. All right. It's not as ideal, but I mean, the thing is, after this parting shot, maybe I shouldn't have parting shot. Maybe I should have just flare blitz. I think I should have just flare blitz. I think parting shot was a mistake. But I mean, here's the thing about the Miraidon. It really can't do anything here. Actually, no, I'll be fine because Electric Terrain's about to disappear. That means the Miraidon's going to have a lot less significant damage output. And then I should be able to encore this Ogerpon into Spiky Shield. So I should have the game sealed here. Yeah, no, I think I'd have the game sealed. Screamtail's going to come in. Then I get to bring out Incineroar. Okay. Wasn't sure about the guaranteed line here, but I do think I have this pretty sealed. So Sun is going to fade. But I do have the Photosynthesis thanks to the booster energy that's about to be active here on the Screamtail. I can now go for a fake out on the Miraidon. I can go for the Encore into the Ogerpon. And then afterward, I think we should be fine. So we'll go out into Incineroar. Because the thing is, the Miraidon can't do enough damage to break through my team. So we go for fake out into the Miraidon. We go for the Encore into the Ogerpon Heartflame, and we don't even need to perish this endgame. I think Incineroar can just win. So we go for the fake out into Miraidon. We get the Encore off, so that's perfect because they didn't go for follow me. The Ogerpon is now locked into that spiky shield, and now we can just go for a disable on the Miraidon very safely and go for a flare blitz, and now we have the game secured because Miraidon won't be able to go for an attack because they're usually choice specs. So we disable their attack here. Ogerpon's locked in the spiky shield, so it can't do anything. Battle gonna be forfeited. Beautiful. Whew. I don't know if we actually played the actual Sammy, but nice. I do think we had a very good pin. Like, the start was pretty good. Getting rid of the Whimsicott, not having to worry about the damage from the partner, and then we were just able to, again, pick up 2 KOs. Even though we didn't get Perish Song endgame, I think we were still in a really nice spot afterward. Terapagos, Flutter Mane, Ogerpon Heartflame, Urshifu, and Incineroar Rillaboom. Okay, standard Terapagos stuff. I do have to get rid of the Flutter Mane on their side because that's probably one of the most annoying mons, but otherwise, we have a really good, I think, setup here because obviously Terapagos against Koraidon is pretty ugly for them. But also, I think the idea here is Perish Song just punishes a passive Pago stuff, so that could be really nice. I think lead-wise, what do I want to go here? There's a lot I could do. I think I'd probably lead Koraidon, because offensively, it's just great against my opponent's team. I think I'd probably just lead Incineroar plus the Koraidon. I think it's really good. Flutter is nice for the speed advantage if necessary. Usually, I think on these teams, I could lead Flutter. Icy Wind immediately isn't too bad, but I don't think I need it. I definitely bring Screamtail. I think it's just Screamtail Goth. I think it's just super safe. Like, I don't think I need a Moongus in this game when they have 2 fire types. I can just set up for, I think, Perish. I think it's really just how well do I position the KO onto Flutter Mane and then gets the Perish song set up. Because they do have a bunch of rotation. They got Parting Shot and U-Turn. So, let's see. We're going to see Ogerpon and... I was about to say, where are the Mons? Wait, where? Wait, what? Wait, what? Wait, where are the Mons? Where are the Mons? Okay, this is really weird. Like, where are the Mons? Wait, they're not even... What? Oh, okay. We have an Incineroar again. What the heck, man? All right. I'm actually going to go for a Flare Blitz since Flare Blitz in the sun should KO the Flutter Mane. And I think I just protect. I mean, I don't really want to commit to Terra yet if I don't have to. And like they have no pressure against this. I guess I could just go for Flare Blitz. Here's the thing. I could fake out Flare Blitz. I'm worried about if they go for Thunder Wave. I just don't want Thunder Wave happening in Koraidon. So I'm just going to Flare Blitz and protect. So they have protect on Flutter. Okay. What is this? What? Oh, where are the Mons? Where are the Mons? This is the first time that's happened. This has happened to me. What the heck? Okay, they just go for a double spiky shield because they're like, okay, I'm gonna cover the fake out plus the Terrifier Flare Blitz. But what the heck? Where are my Mons, man? Where are my Mons? I'm just gonna go on the offense. I think I'll take the offense now. If they didn't try to pivot in Incineroar for the Ogerpon Heartflame, I'm kind of skeptical if they even have it. I'm just gonna go for a Life Force Flare Blitz and a Flare Blitz. I'm not really too worried about Urshifu. Let's see how this is gonna go. Because I'm hoping for the double knockout and then just clean up with Perish. That would be like the ideal situation, but you know, life isn't always ideal. So let's see. Like, I would love to have all my Mons on the screen now. Like, at least we have Koraidon. We're just going to see Follow Me, which is beautiful because I should get the knock on Ogerpon and then Flare Blitz KO on the Flutter Mane. I should outspeed my Incineroar as long as I get this Flare Blitz off. And of course, that just always happens, man. Okay. I got a Flare Blitz into the Ogerpon. Good damage. But I mean, I would have loved to KO on Flutter Mane. It's a sun boosted Flare Blitz, but okay. We're just gonna go for a Flame Charge, I guess, into the Ogerpon Heartflame and a Flare Blitz. There's not really much I can do. Come on, man. Why'd you? I think they just instant lost the game if I do get the Flare Blitz off, but all right. Gotta manage. At least the Flutter Mane only has Thunder Wave Protect, so it most likely doesn't have Taunt unless it's Moonblast Taunt specifically. I mean, Solo Moonblast would be kind of crazy, I think, but all right. This might be a switch out, though. They do get the opportunity to switch out. Ogerpon's going to switch out. I don't know what's coming in. Or Shifu. I could have closed combat, but I think Flame Charge to break a potential Sash is all right. We do get the see the Protect from the Flutter Mane. I might outspeed Urshifu afterward. So I should be able to get a close combat KO into Urshifu, I think. A good damage in Urshifu. Especially if Urshifu doesn't have speed. Alright. Again, we're trying to pick up the KO. We're trying to pick up some fast KOs here. I'm going to go for a Flare Blitz into Flutter Mane, and I'm just going to close combat to Ursh. I don't think Surging Strikes can knock out either. Maybe a close combat knockout into Incineroar could be possible. Which isn't great, but I think I can manage. I just don't know if they have Icy Wind or if they have Taunt on the Flutter Mane. That's the big one. I mean, I assume it's Moonblast. We saw Thunder Wave and Protect. Just don't know if it's Icy Wind. Because Icy Wind would negate my speed drop. But they go for Moonblast, so I should outspeed Urshifu with Koraidon. Yeah. Nice. Nice. I get the big Flare Blitz off into the Urshifu. That's a big knockout. Urshifu goes down. It's just so weird not seeing the Mons, man. Like, I'm only seeing my Terra Koraidon here. And we're going to get a Flare Blitz off, pick up the knockout into the Flutter Mane. Yep, some boosted Flare Blitz as I expected. Okay. I did take a lot of recoil with my Incin, but it should be all right. Okay. I mean, the game might not be over because I could still get very heavily RNG'd. The Ogerpon going to come in. I think I just go for a Flame Charge into Ogerpon and a Parting Shot. Is Sun still up? Sun is up. It's weird because the Sun animation's not even here, man. Like, I'm trying to figure it out because I'm trying to figure out a safe end game. I think I just protect my Incineroar, and I think I Flame Charge the... I want to say I Flame Charge the Pagos. Yeah, I think so. Because if they protect Ogerpon with Spiky Shield, I can punish with a close combat later, which is fine. I could have Parting Shot out the Pagos, which I want to, but I wasn't sure if they were just going to go for a Sun Boosted IE Cudgel. We do get the Flame Charge. It is going to be into Pagos' Terra Shell, so now we're at +2 speed. If they don't pick up the knockout into Koraidon, I will be able to pick up a knockout with close combat into a slot, so that's really nice. All right. And they go for Calm Mind, which is absolutely fine. Okay. So I'm gonna go for Sunlight Fades. I definitely go for close combat. I really wish I just Parting Shot it because I knew that there was a chance they didn't go for this, but I think it should still be fine. I'm gonna go out into Gothitelle and I'm just gonna go for a close combat into the Pago slot. If they protect, I mean, I don't think Ogerpon can pick up the knockout and Koraidon without maybe a crit, regardless. And I want to make sure I have Incineroar for the Intimidate because it allows Screamtail to stick around on the field, which is actually kind of massive. All right. I can also go for like Disable into the Pago, so it can't go for the Terra Starstorm as easily. So there's also that route as well, because I don't think they're going to protect on against the Screamtail. Follow Me is fine. Like, I think even if I get paralyzed, it's not too bad. Yeah, I get paralyzed, but I mean, I still think that this is acceptable. Okay, we're going to see Terra Starstorm. All right, Koraidon knocked out, but the Terras have been committed this game. It actually really didn't do that much to Gothitelle. I thought that was going to do way more to Gothitelle than I was expecting. Okay. Do I want to go for Disable or do I want to go for... Because I could go for Fake Out Disable or Fake Out Perish. Both work. I think I would rather just Perish Song now because it looks like Crit isn't going to knock out my Gothitelle at this point. Yeah. Because if I just go for Fake Out plus Perish Song, I win the game, right? Assuming Gothitelle doesn't, like, Spiky Shield from Ogerpon and then crit the Gothitelle. But even then, crit is not looking like it's doing a lot either to Gothitelle. I think I'm just going to go for Fake Out and Ogerpon, and I'm just going to go for a Perish Song. Like, even if we get crit, I think Incineroar can win the end game theoretically. Yeah, it can win the end game theoretically. So no Spiky Shield is perfect. Perish Song. This is just so silly. This is just so silly. I hope this doesn't happen for the entire video. We do get the flinch on the slot. We're gonna see the Starstorm. Yeah, crit doesn't knock out Gothitelle with the Spiky Shield damage, so game is just over at this point. They can't win. I double protect this turn, I swap out one and then protect the other, or I just sack both if I want to. Like, there's really nothing they can do here. So yeah, that is Perish for you, and it was really good into the team here. As I said before, if you can get rid of Flutter Mane, which is probably the biggest nuisance, mainly because of that Thunder Wave, but also that they can run Taunt, you should be able to guarantee the win most of the time. Like, I think the only way that it could have gone maybe a bit south is if they had Icy Wind as well. They went for the Icy Wind, Surging Strikes, or Icy Wind Close Combat maybe. into a slot. But I don't think, I think I was always getting the Urshifu knockout because I don't think they could have knocked out Urshifu into Sun at that position. So I could still play around it. It was definitely harder, but definitely will take them going for the Moonblast instead. But yeah, what did they click with Pagos? I think that's just Starstorm. I'm just going to disable a slot and just go for a swap to Instant, I guess. It really doesn't matter at this point. And the thing is, they have to follow me if they want to get the Starstorm off, and the Starstorm's actually their best win con here, so we'll just disable. We'll go to Instant for the Intimidate, and that is Perish. While Ogerpon reappeared. I think that their mons have been reappearing. Incineroar in. Disable the Pagos from going for Starstorms. Battle's gonna be forfeit because they realized, yep. Yeah, it was just pretty much impossible for me to lose unless I got the... Unless I just misclicked and didn't click Protect at all in the game. Basically. Calyx Ice Rider, Ogerpon Heartflame, Amoonguss, Raging Bolt, Landorus Incarnate, and Mienshao. Huh. Alright. So Landorus is actually one of the scariest Pokemon, I think, to this team. It's really hard to beat Landorus. Am I gonna try to go for Perish? Because they don't exactly have any pivoters. So I think Perish would be really nice. Yeah, I think Perish is probably the way to go. I'm gonna go with Screamtail plus Incineroar, I think, lead-wise. Or do I want to go with, like... I could lead Incineroar Goth, too, but that's just so passive. But I think this is the way to go. I wonder if there's Terra Ghost on the Landers. I could see this being Terra Ghost Landers. Or Volt Switch on the Raging Bolt. That could also be a thing. I think Koraidon and Gothitelle is also pretty good. Alright, this is going to be a bit of a tricky game. Getting rid of the Landers would be super ideal, but the problem is I just don't know the items. Like, if it's Scarf on the Landers, it would be a lot easier to pinpoint something, but because we don't know the items, I'm super fearful of just a random Lander is just going for Choice Scarfs, Sandseers, and ruining my day. But I feel like on this team, if you had double redirection, I don't think the Landers needs to be Scarf, but I don't know. It might be. I could still see it. All right, let's figure it out. If they lead Landorus, I mean, I think you probably should lead Landorus. I think Landorus Ogerpon makes a lot of sense. Landorus plus Calyx Ice Rider also makes a lot of sense. But let's see. What is the lead here? Terra-wise, Bug Terra on Incineroar might actually come into play because I might Terra in front of the Landorus, but we're going to see the lead of Calyx Ice Rider, Mienshao. Oh, is this coaching stuff? Okay. All right, as one going to activate, Mienshao is in. Air Amulet on the Cali Ice. Inner Focus. All right. Not too bad of a lead. I don't think we're training fake outs. I can see them just going for coaching straight off the bat. I think I'm just going to go for a Perish Song and switch into Gothitelle turn 1. If they go for fake out, I can encore the Mienshao into fake out. So that's perfectly fine if they do. Because then they're trapped by the Shadow Tag. So let's bring in the Gothitelle. They do fake out. They fake out the Gothitelle. Interesting. Okay, so I get a Perish Song off. Wait, this is really good for me. Unless they're Terra Ghost Mienshao, but they usually aren't. Trick Room comes out, sure. That's fine. They're counting the turns here. Do they have Taunt on the Mienshao? I do not know. But I just get a free fake out plus a anything really. I think I'm just gonna attempt to encore the Calyx Ice Rider, and I'm just gonna fake out. I think you should protect, but no protects. Okay. So Calyx Ice Rider flinches. They do have taunt. They go for it in a Screamtail. Okay. I mean, that's fine though. Yeah, that's just fine. I don't think I mind that too much because Cali Ice still can't threaten a knockout here, so perfectly acceptable. I think I would like to maneuver a bit though. I would like to get my instant in, I think. If they close combat, really good play on their part, but I don't see a reason to. I'm gonna go for I want to taunt me and shit. Actually, no, I just protect. Because I'm switching out golf until the next turn guaranteed anyway. Yeah. Did they close combat raid here? If they close combat raid, they got me in a pretty smart position. Let's see. Xanton switch is a bit obvious, but maybe I should have psychicked, but it doesn't change anything. That's the thing. They go for glacial. I wouldn't be surprised if this is close combat, double up into instant. Okay. Oh, they went for Taunt into Godfatel. Yeah, that's a mistake. It didn't even get you anything because I just switched out the next turn. The only way it got you something, no, it doesn't even get you anything. Yeah, they should have just close combat Screamtail. But even then, I was going to bring Koraidon, protect, sack, and I think I would have been fine. But yeah, now I can just protect my Incineroar. I can swap out into Screamtail, I suppose. Because they can't really punish the Screamtail. The worst they can do is Glacial Lance taunt to switch in, I guess. And even then, like, I don't know what they can do. I guess I could have Bug Terrored, faked out the Calyx Ice Rider. I think I should have maybe. Because then I don't take that much damage with Screamtail. Not taking damage with Screamtail would have been nice. As well as keeping Incineroar around. Maybe I should have thought about that a bit more. I still think that this is a very acceptable spot though. Because I have Min Speed Instant with one more turn of Trick Room. I can Parting Shot the Calyx Ice Rider. So I think I'm still okay regardless. But they go for Glacial Lance. Now they should taunt the Screamtail. Unless they want to close combat the Instant, which is fair too. Screamtail takes it. Yeah, they close combat the instant. No, now I can just perish the final turns. Okay. Excellent, excellent. So Ice Rider goes down, Mienshao goes down. Yeah, they didn't have much to stop this. They needed some Terra Ghost. If they had Raging Bolt, they had to hard switch at turn 1 because they needed to be able to get, Volt Switch out. But yeah, it's just tough. When they give you like a team that pretty much has no pivoting power, it's incredible. So who is coming in as the final two? It is going to be the Amoonguss, and what is the last? Ogerpon. Yeah, this is pretty much over. Because Koraidon even just wins now at this point. So I can go for a Parting Shot into the Ogerpon. I can protect my Screamtail. Then I can Perish Song, switch into... I can Parting Shot into Godfatel this turn. They can't punish that unless they Ivy Cudgel crit, I suppose. Even if they do, I just get in my instant. I click Fake Out Perish again. And it's like, okay. They can't do anything. Okay, they will tear the Ogerpon because they do need some offense on the board here. But I just can't see how it's breaking through, man. I just can't see how it's breaking through. Because Incin is immune to the Spore of Goggles. As they Spore to Screamtail. Excellent. Parting Shot just gets a free switch into Godfatel. I go for a Fake Out the next turn. I Perish Song. I just win. There are a lot of ways I could win this, realistically. I could go... I'm not risking going Koraidon, no, and bring out the Suns just for Screamtail to get crit. I'm not risking that. Not risking that. Like, I'd rather Godfatel get crit here, and that's completely fine. Yep, Ivy Cudgel into Screamtail. Now I just perish. And the thing is, they only have one Mon. I'm actually kind of surprised they brought Amoonguss, because I feel like Amoonguss doesn't do anything against this team. Like, yeah, why isn't there a Landis or a Raging Bolt? I mean, I felt like they were better, but maybe they were just like, I really need the redirection against Koraidon. Maybe they thought I wasn't going to go with the Perish mode. Yeah, I just Fake Out and I Perish Song. As Trick Room's over, unless I miscounted, Battle's going to be forfeit. Yeah, there really wasn't much they could do. That's the power of Perish if they make mistakes, man. And I felt like they made a few. I feel like they had some good turns, though. Like, the taunt was good, but if they went for, like, the close combat into the Incin that one time that they had the opportunity to. But those back Pokemon were probably not doing much. Like, I think I was still able to clean up Koraidon, even if I lost the Incin and got taunted with the Screamtail that one turn. Amoonguss, Necrozma, Dawn Wings. We have the Incineroar, Raging Bull, Torkoal, and the Indeedee. All right. Size Spam is not fun. Size Spam's not fun for this team. We do have multiple Terra Dark options though, which actually is really nice here. I think we just go for Perish game, right? Well, the thing is, they have Dawn Wings. They do have a Dawn Wings. Trying to figure out how I want to maneuver. It's probably like Gothitelle. All right, I'm trying to think because I do want to bring my restricted in this. It can be hard. I think I'm gonna go Gothitelle plus Incineroar. Gothitelle plus Incineroar sounds very safe. Although the Dawn Wings actually is scary. Meteor Beam access, Moongeist Beam into Goth. This might not be as easy as I think because I might have to call a read right immediately. Am I leading Flutter? I think Flutter doesn't even threaten to KO on Dawn Wings because of Prism Armor. I think I'll just try this combo out and see how it goes. This is going to be a tough one. Sun with Dawn Wings. Dawn Wings specifically. Like, Dawn Wings is the only really scary Pokemon on their team, I think. We'll figure it out. It's Indeedee Dawn Wings. Not surprising at all. Gothitelle plus Incineroar. I am min speed Incin. This could be like really coming down to a turn 1 read because I have no idea if this is going to be, hey, I'm going to go for Helping Hand plus Moongeist Beam or Helping Hand Meteor Beam right off the bat. I think I might have to make an aggressive play here and just like read where the target is. If I read the target in a Gothitelle, my best play is just to go for a Protect with Gothitelle Parting Shot. If I read the Incineroar Meteor Beam, my best play is to always just protect my Incineroar and go for a Taunt in the Indeedee so it can't go for Helping Hand or follow me the next turn. So let's see if we can get the read right. Follow me is fine. I'm hoping this is Meteor Beam. Or this is Trick Room, which is fine too. That'll work. Yeah, that'll work. My Incin's min speed on this team, so I can actually Parting Shot to the slot. So I can go for a Protect and a Parting Shot. I don't need Booster Energy Speed at all, right? No, there's no reason for it to have Booster Energy Speed. I think I'm just gonna Parting Shot the Dawn Wings. Because also, like, the Indeedee could also have Dazzling Gleam or Psychic and target the Instant, and I just can't have that happening. So we'll Parting Shot the Dawn Wings. All right. Go out into Scream Tail, I guess. Because I don't think there's any way you Moongeist Beam the Incineroar slot. Like, I just can't see it. It is Meteor Beam. Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, so that's nice, actually. Screamtail avoids, which I'll definitely take. That's less damage that I have to worry about. It is Dazzling Gleam, so that's why I didn't want to bring in Koraidon here. Okay. Alrighty. So, turns a Taunt left. Where are you going with the Moongeist Beam? Probably in a Goth. But I can't really risk Screamtail either. I think I'll live one Moongeist Beam from this Mon. Trying to figure out about if I want Screamtail or if I want... You know what? I think my best play is just to go out into Incineroar or the Gothitelle and go for a Disable. So let's see if this works. Because I'm going to get Incineroar in, disable the Necrozma, hopefully on the Moongeist Beam. I guess this is where it actually matters that I dodged a Meteor Beam earlier, because I probably wouldn't survive the Moongeist Beam afterward. They do go for the, what was the Gothitelle, so this is perfect. I do get Disable into the Necrozma, and now it can't really do as much to me, so that's beautiful. Now I can go for a Parting Shot. I'm going to Parting Shot to the Indie, and I'm actually going to go for a... I want a Perish Song here, or do I want to Encore the... I think I want a Perish Song. Yeah, I'm going to Perish Song, actually. Because if they double swap here, it's really bad for them. Oh, that's amazing for me. Oh, that's Incineroar, so that's not as bad for them. That's not as bad for them. Okay. But if I trap in one of these Pokemon and get the Perish, like I'm in a really good spot. Yeah, they actually stay in with the Indie. I can get rid of the Redirectmon, and getting rid of the Redirectmon is actually really good. Bring out the Gothitelle. And we're just going to play this a bit slowly here. I'm going to do nothing. And here comes Perish Song. Okay. Not too shabby, not too shabby. Oh, where's 3 turns? I gotta think about this a little bit carefully. They should be going for Parting Shot here, which is fine. I'm just gonna taunt, and I think I go for a Disable into the Indie here. Because they have to stay in, they're probably going to go for Gleam. I think this is Parting Shot, which is fine. I think I could find a way to get Koraidon in. Oh, we see the Helping Hand. Okay. Wait, they're going for Knockoff? Oh, and a Scream Tail. What? I mean, Double Protect was obvious. Maybe they thought I was going to go Instant. But I think this ends up being really bad for them. Because now I taunted their Indie, and they can't go for Follow Me this turn. Now I can Encore the Incineroar. So this ends up working out really well. I thought they were just going to raw Parting Shot. Like, Parting Shot to Indie I thought was super safe, so they could bring out the other slot. But this actually works out pretty well for me. Because now I can go for Encore into the Incineroar. And I'll be in a very prime position. So we go for Protect with Gothitelle. We're going to go for the Encore into the Incineroar on the Knockoff. Yeah. All right. So Incineroar is now trapped. I guess the problem is the Indie still gets a Gleam off into my Koraidon, but I think this is still all right. All right. Now I would like a double switch because both my Pokemon are going down. Or do I sack Gothitelle? I feel like there's no reason to sack. I feel like there's no reason to sack Gothitelle. I think my best play is just to go Incineroar on the Knockoff and switch out into Koraidon. Like, Dazzling Gleam doesn't do crazy amounts of damage. They're actually just going to forfeit the game because they kind of realize, oh, I'm in a very bad spot. I lose 2 Pokemon. I don't have Trick Room up. Next turn, you just get free momentum. I guess if they knock off the Koraidon item on the Life Orb, it gets a bit tricky. But, like, I don't think... Since the Dawn Wings doesn't have Protect, I'm pretty sure I can double it up. Trick Room never goes up, and I could probably set up a good end game. But, yeah. I felt like going for the knockoff there was never worth it. I felt... Parting Shot was always, because that was the last turn. If I deny the, I guess they were thinking, oh, I just double protect safely, but and then go for Follow Me if there is a Encore possibility. But it really worked out for me because I was really expecting a hard Parting Shot into the Indie, getting a free switch into cross with Dawn Wings so they could set up Trick Room again safely, but that's not how it worked. Cadillac, Shadow Rider, Incineroar, Grimmsnarl, Raging Bull, Clefairy, and Ogerpon Hearthflame. All right. Probably a very heavy setup Calyx Shadow Rider team, although I could see being some kind of choice spec set with like Fake Out Grim. Let's see how do I want to approach. This is going to be a bit of a complicated matchup, mainly because Shadow Rider is decently difficult for this team, if not played properly. I would say I don't think I could really trap in anything, so I don't think I'm going to bring Gothitelle. I think I'd probably go with Flutter Mane plus Koraidon, which I think is good, and Incineroar is also really solid. The question is, do I want to go Screamtail or not? I think is a big one. I could definitely see it being brought here. Amoonguss ain't too bad, but although Raging Bolt is going to be a bit hard unless I have it. I think I want to lead Koraidon Flutter Mane. I think Flutter Mane is just super strong in this matchup. I definitely want Incineroar in the back because it's good against their Incineroar, the Shadow Rider, and the Ogerpon. The question is, do I go Screamtail for a Parasong endgame, or do I just try to brute force this team and just go Amoonguss as the last? Because Amoonguss is a bit strange in the matchup because I probably Terra my Koraidon, so I think it's a lot less effective than just bring Screamtail. I do gotta watch out though, because Grimmsnarl is just such an annoying Pokemon. Thunderwave is just never pleasant to deal with, but we'll see. I would like to try to do as much damage as I possibly can, but it depends on the Terra as well, on the Calyx, which... what Terra would he be fighting? Incineroar Grimmsnarl lead. Okay, that's fine. Versus the Koraidon and Flutter Mane lead. I don't think this is too bad of a lead. The question is, are you going to Thunder Wave immediately, or are you going to just go for a something else, like a Light Screen or Reflect here? I think I would love a Moonblast here into Grimmsnarl and probably just go hard Incineroar. I think it's a generally safe play. I could protect the Flutter Mane, but if they get a free Light Screen, it's just, I think, a bit annoying to maneuver. So I think I'd rather just get the immediate Moonblast damage into the Grimmsnarl now. So we'll bring out our own Incineroar. Get the Intimidate off into their Incineroar, which is the important one. Let's see. You go for Fake Out, which was the Koraidon slot. Okay, perfect. It's Light Screen. So that's really nice. Okay, awesome. Beautiful. As we are able to get a Moonblast off into the Grimmsnarl. And as you can see, we do so much damage. Special attack drop doesn't really matter here, but a very good turn. Now I can go for a few things. I don't really want to have my Sash Flutter being dropped, so I think I'm just going to go for a Flare Blitz into the Grim. And although I could deny Reflect. Is denying Reflect worth my Focus Sash? I think it might be. I think it is, actually. I think it is. I think I'm just going to go for a Fake Out and the Shadow Ball KO. I'd rather just Moonblast. It covers most switches decently well anyway. So I will deny the Reflect, which is pretty important for Koraidon for being able to sweep here. As goodbye Grimmsnarl. Only Light Screens up, which is only affecting the Flutter Mane at this point in the game, which is actually very nice. Let's see what Incineroar is going to go for, Parting Shot or Flare Blitz. Goes for a knockout to get rid of my Focus Sash, which is very fair here. Okay. Alrighty. So this should be hard into the Calyx. The Calyx is going to be a bit scary. Yep, Calyx is coming in. I wonder what item it is, if it's Covert Cloak or not on this team. I feel like Covert Cloak would make a lot of sense here. I'm just going to go for a Parting Shot into the Calyx, and I'm going to go for a... I think I just want damage in Instant. Because there's a world where the Calyx says, hey, I'm going to go for a Nasty Plot here, or Protect, and Instant swaps. So I think I'm just going to Moonblast the Incineroar. I think even with Light Screen, I don't think you should ever risk me going for Shadow Ball. So you either Terra to avoid the Shadow Ball, or you go for something else. If they go for Astral Barrage, that's fine. I don't mind the trade-off here. We are going to see a Terra from the Calyx, most likely, which I assumed. I'm not going to Icy Wind because I'm just trying to play around the Covert Cloak game. Our Fairy's not surprising. Flare Blitz would do a ton of damage. I wonder Moonblast Flare Blitz would have KO'd, but I was expecting Clef and Protect maybe. Alright, Moonblast and Instant for some decent chip. Special attack drop, not that big of a deal. They do Nasty Plot, which is not too surprising. Alright. They do Parting Shot here. Do I want to Terradark my Scream Tail potentially? All right. This is gonna be a bit hard. Yeah, Clefairy is the last. All right, so we're playing a setup Clefairy or a setup Calyx Shadow Rider game. All right, I do get the parting shot off into the Calyx. Gonna be tough. Going to be tough. Trying to think if I go Scream Tail here. I think I always go Scream Tail. I think I do go Scream Tail because if I go Koraidon, it's like, okay, what am I going to do afterward? I could go Instant, but it doesn't really change the board. If I'm assuming this is Covert Cloak on the Cali, which I assume it probably is, with how heavy setup they are. I'm going to protect my Scream Tail and I'm going to go Incineroar. The reason is then I could fake out the Clef and then I could go for like a threat of Disable into the Calyx. If they go for like any setup move, I can Encore it and put on pressure that way. Or I could force them to switch up by going for Perish Song, which I'm really tempted to do because being able to go for Perish Song here would actually be really nice. So we'll switch out our Fluttermane and Incineroar. Okay. Hopefully Clef doesn't switch out here, but I don't think you should ever. I think you should just stay in. We're going to see Protect from the Scream Tail. This should just be Follow Me and Astral. Yep. Perfect. Perfect. Yep. So this is +1 Astral. It's going to do a decent amount to my Incin, but I should be tanking it all right. Yeah, that's not Spell Tag. That should be Cloak then. All right. So I'm going to go for Disable into the Calyx, and I'm going to go for a Fake Out. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. Then next turn, I mean, I guess they have some ways to maneuver. I could see Clefairy switching on to Instant now. I could just see Double Protect, which I think Double Protect would be very fair here. If it's Double Protect, that's not too bad. They do just go for a Double Protect, which is cool. All right. Yeah, they're just going to go for a Double Protect. Cool. Go for a Fake Out into the Clef slot. I just got to figure out a way I can really maneuver this spot. If I can get the KO on Instant, that would be really nice. I am going to just go for a Disable into the Clef slot because this should always be... hard in it should always be Follow Me and Astral. I am gonna go for my Terra and I'm gonna go for the Terra Dark on Scream Tail. I'm gonna go for Disable into the Clef and what am I doing with you? Am I parting shotting or am I could Protect here. Actually, no, Protect is probably safest. Then I can Encore Trap the Cali. Yeah, I actually like that. Because unless they go for a hard Draining Kiss read here, I should be fine. It should be Follow Me attack, right? Like, I don't see a reason not to go for Follow Me Astral here. You get so much damage. And yeah, it looks like they're staying in, so this is perfect. I gotta watch out for Draining Kiss though from Cali Shadow, which is the only annoying part, but I think I can manage. So Terra Dark on the Scream Tail. Protect the Instant, just so I don't take damage, because there's no point in taking a Flare Blitz or anything here. Yep, they follow me. Perfect. As we disable. Trying to think, can I get a good setup situation? I think I can. But this shouldn't do that much. Okay, perfect. Now, if the Clef has Sing, I'll be frustrated, but let's go for an Encore and let's go for a Parting Shot. I think Parting Shot the Clef. I might have to call some mind games though. Might have to call some mind games. I just don't know if the Cali is just gonna attack here or not. I feel like he should just Draining Kiss. But let's see. They switch out to Instant. That makes the most sense to me. Yep. I'm encoring them in the Astral, so they're forced to Astral, which is actually kind of important to me. Okay. And now I get a Parting Shot off. Also, like, the Cali can't knock out my Koraidon anymore, which is pretty big. I will be able to get another Parting Shot, and then I will be able to go for a potential Perish endgame. I could go for a potential Perish endgame. So I'm going to go out in a Koraidon, and I think I go for Close Combat, and I think I go for Disable. Yes. Because the Cali being Encored means it's locked into a move right now. So let's disable. Let's go for Close Combat. It can only fake out one. And if you decide, hey, I'm going to switch out the Incineroar and the Clef, or fake out my Koraidon, I'll be able to go for the Disable into the Cali Shadow. And that means it's Encore disabled, so it can't go for any attacks in the future. If they go for, hey, I'm going to go for fake out, then I go for the Close Combat, and then I think I get a Perish Song endgame. They retreats the slot into the Clef, which makes sense. Perfect. Oh, nice, nice, nice. I'm so glad I went for the Close Combat. They were reading the Flare Blitz disable, and the Close Combat should KO the instant, so Perish Song should win. Okay, that's really good. That's really good. Okay, I think this is sealed. I think. Light Screamer is off, but yeah, that was also another thing I could have seen them maneuvering, but I wasn't sure if they were going to take that, but this works out really well for me. Cali Shadow comes in. They can't knock out Screamtail. Yes, unless they go for Draining Kiss, but that means I get a free swap. So we go for the Perish Song. We go for the swap into the Instant. I think Instant is the play. It might have been Flutter. But if they Astral, it doesn't change anything, right? Like if they Helping Hand Astral KO my Instant, it doesn't change anything. Yeah. So I just Perish Song to win. Bring out Incineroar. And this should be sealed, I want to say, because Perish comes out 3 turns on the counter for my opponent's team. Let's see. They go for the Draining Kiss. Oh, they read the Instant. Okay. The Instant survives, so that actually secures the game. Life Dew. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Now you just double protect, sack, double protect, win. Like, I don't know if they have Helping Hand. We saw Life Dew, we saw Follow Me, and we saw Protect, right? I'm pretty sure we saw Protect earlier. So, yep, I should be able to win by just going for double Protect now, and that will seal it. I mean, I think they should have Helping Hand realistically on their Cali Shadow. And the thing is, as long as they weren't getting a double knockout there, as long as Helping Hand Astral didn't crit the Screamtail to KO, which I don't even know if it does. Like, I was in a good position to just double Protect stall, sack, protect again, and then just win. Yeah, they just can't do anything. I guess, like, what? I Encore the Cali Shadow and I disable? Or no, I Encore and I Parting Shot. I was like, I can't do both on the same turn here. What kind of wizardry would the Screamtail be if it could Encore disable at the same time? It'd be funny if they went for Draining Kiss now, but I think it should be Astral. But I will Encore lock in with Draining Kiss. It just isn't an instant because Encore can be a random target here. That would be pretty funny. It is. So instant goes down to the Helping and Draining Kiss, but we were fine with that. Yeah. The game is just over. But yeah, very hard to maneuver some Shadow Rider positions if they have a lot of support here, and as we saw, it was just really hard to get the KO. Like, I could have maybe got the KO into the Calyx early, but the problem is Intimidate, because you're not Clear Amulet on the Clear Amulet on the what's it called? You're not Clear Amulet on the Koraidon, makes it a bit difficult because Intimidate plus Friend Guard just allows, I think, Shadow Rider to live a Terrifier Flare Blitz. The Flutter Mane can make it a little bit annoying for the Shadow Rider player, but I do think when they have screens as well, just the fact that even if they Terra, it's like they don't have much to fear if they have screens up. That's why I'm so focused on preventing the Grimstop from getting both screens up if possible. But even then, it was so annoying to KO the Shadow Rider, so I had to figure out a way that I could trap it in for potential Perish, and luckily the maneuvers worked out. All right, we have Indeedee, Terapagos, Incineroar, Ogerpon, Wellspring with Flutter Mane and Volcarona. Oh, I think I remember something similar to this. If I remember right, this was a team that I think it top 8 a Latam event, and also I think it's Dorian who brought it and got day 2 at Worlds, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see, how do I want to approach this? Because Pagos, but they have the Indeedee actually makes this a bit weird here. Indeedee definitely makes this a bit weird. What do I want to go? Koraidon, of course, is fantastic if I play it right. Incineroar could be a good lead. I'm not exactly too sure if I want to, but it is a possibility. I think I do want to go with the Perish mode here, and I think Amoonguss doesn't really do much against a multiple fire type, so I think I will just bring Screamtail Gothitelle. I like the Incineroar lead because it just puts on so much pressure, or if I need to get like my Koraidon removed from the field and bring it back in with Parting Shot, I think it's the best way to remove that Intimidate. So let's see how this is going to go. I would like to see what the plan is here. It's going to be the lead of Terapagos, Indeedee. All right. Versus Koraidon, Incineroar. I have seen Meteor Beam sets on this Pagos before, so I'm kind of curious if that's going to be the case. As Psychic Terrain occurs, we get the Intimidate off. I'm debating just going hard Gothitelle and hard Screamtail. And I think I will. Because if they just go for like something like Follow Me plus Meteor Beam, I want to catch the Meteor Beam. I think the Meteor Beam would go out into the Screamtail slot. So that's fine for me. And then I can maneuver accordingly. Let's see. So Screamtail gonna get the speed boost. We're gonna see Helping Hand come out. Is this Starstorm immediately, or are they just going for a Helping Hand Meteor Beam, which actually is kind of scary? No, it's Starstorm into into Screamtail. Oh, that's Specs. They definitely have a different team. Okay. Although I don't think this is actually too bad. I can taunt the Indeedee, which probably has to go for a Follow Me here as a disable from the Screamtail. So this is playable, actually. It's not a great start, but it's playable. Yeah, they do go for the Follow Me. Taunt is really good here. Let's see if they Starstorm to Goth, which would be a good play on their part. Yeah, they're playing well. Okay, that's fine. It does so much damage. Jeez. All right, we get to taunt the Indeedee. I should be able to get the KO though onto the Pagos at least, which is nice. Are you kidding me? It's a why are you Mental Herb? All right. They're gonna Terra. Okay, I got him on this turn, I think. Because they're going to go for Follow Me here. Plus Starstorm. And now they're weak to my Koraidon. So, it's a possible game. It's a possible game. Because we have committed their Terra at least. Gothitelle will be able to be sticking around on the field. But I'm gonna have to really rely on my Koraidon to be able to win. Unless Entity just rare protected, which I don't think should ever be the case. Go for the protect with the Gothitelle. Yeah, they do follow me. Okay, perfect. Whew. All right. As we get the disable off into the Entity, I had a feeling that they would want to try and get the double knockout if I wasn't careful. So Starstorm going to come in, pick up the knockout into the Screamtail, but that's acceptable. Jeez, the fact that it was just a Choice Specs Pagos made it a bit strange here, but it's manageable. All right. So I go out into my Koraidon. I taunt the Entity, or do I want to reset and get fake out pressure? I think I'd rather just attack realistically. Or not attack. I think I'd rather just taunt the Entity because I don't want Helping Hand coming out from like a Flutter Mane in the back. So I'm going to go for the Terra Fighting, close combat. I'm Terroring here because I don't want to be affected by Psychic if the Entity carries Psychic here. Because the Shadow Attack, they're trapped so they can't switch. I get a guarantee KO with the Life Orb Close Combat. I think Life Orb Close Combat should KO from Koraidon. Come on, man. I hope this KOs. It should. Especially because if there's like choice specs with a lot of special attack, there's no way you can have enough defense investment to live a close combat. Yeah. So Pagos goes down. Beautiful. Okay. That's a good. Well, it's a good mid game. It wasn't a great start. Let's see if we can come back from this though. They go for a Psychic, understandable. So much damage. At least Gothitelle will be able to heal up with leftovers. This should be Flutter Mane coming in. If they have Flutter, yeah. So it can't be Specs Flutter. I assume it's probably Booster Energy. You're probably just Shadow Balling the Koraidon. I'm just gonna Psychic the Flutter and I'm just gonna go Instant. Because if it is Sash, I do need to remove the Sash from play. Alright, let's see. This is manageable, but it's not great. Thunderwave, sure. Okay, I don't mind Thunderwave. Don't mind Thunderwave. Psychic gonna come out into the Instant. We get a Psychic off into the Flutter. All right, not bad damage. It looks to be, I'd say that has some bulk. I'm trying to think if I want to protect the Gothitelle or not. I feel like the answer is no. I think I'd rather just Flare Blitz. I think the answer is just Flare Blitz. So I'm gonna Psychic the Entity and Flare Blitz the Goth, because it could be Incineroar switching in if they have a switch. Yeah. All right. Yeah, that makes sense to me. Perfect. All right, and because they paralyzed my instant, I am able to maneuver this actually decently well. We do see a Psychic come out in the Gothitelle. The reason I didn't want to protect is because I want to be able to protect on the turn where Incineroar comes in for their slot. I do get a Psychic off into the Entity. Nice. And a Flare Blitz into Instant for some chip. All right. So I can manage this. Gonna go for Protect with Gothitelle. I'm gonna go for a Parting Shot into the Insane. I don't know if you're gonna waste a turn by going for Fake Out. I feel like you're either gonna take the knockoff KO or maybe Parting Shot here, which is fine. Because my ideal situation is getting my Koraidon in to threaten the knockouts. They do actually take a turn to fake out Instant. Okay. And Psychic my Gothitelle. All right. Could get a bit ugly. Could get a bit ugly. On shook off. No longer disabled. Huh. All right. Taunt the Indity. I also want a parting shot to the Indity. They go for knockoff to take the KO on Gothitelle, which is fine. All right. Oh, did they trick room here? I think they trick roomed. Oh, that's bad for my Koraidon. That's coming in now. And actually, did the Flutter consume a booster energy? It didn't. So if it's booster energy Flutter, I can still be fine. No, I can still be fine against this, actually. Trick room comes out. Yeah, no, I could still be fine against this. Assuming my Instant doesn't get like majorly paralyzed a bunch of times. The sun is out. Multiple turns to Trick Room. We parting shot the Indity earlier. The Instant's at -1. I'm trying to think about how I want to maneuver this. It's probably go for 2 Flare Blitz. Hope that knocks out Indity. Yes. And then go for a double pin knockout in the following turn. You can follow me. That's understandable. Flare Blitz is going to come out into Indity. It is a 2-shot like I expect. Perfect. Burn shouldn't matter here. And they go for knockoff into Koraidon. Excellent. Now I just got to read a Flutter main switching in for the Instant slot, or are they going to go... Like, I could see Instant going for parting shot here. Do I close combat or do I Flare Blitz? I think that's a big one. I could see helping a knockoff, but that won't knock out Koraidon. I want a Flare Blitz. I want to read the Flutter main switching in for the Incineroar with parting shot, because you would avoid a close combat that way, and then you get 2 intimidates basically, and you get a fake out position. Yeah, I think I'm gonna Flare Blitz. They went for the knockoff. I don't think this KOs, and I think I could have just close combated. Well, Incineroar got paralyzed anyway, so this doesn't KO. Yeah. I had a mind game there. It was literally just coming down to does the thing go for a helping hand attack or not. Unfortunate. I get a crit, but it doesn't matter. I can't win. Yeah, because I thought it was like, okay, they saw it was Life Orb. I think the close combat's a bit obvious into the Incineroar. If you lose Incineroar there, I think the Flutter can't beat Incineroar plus my Koraidon with Terrifier, especially if there's no Gleam on the Flutter main. So that's why I thought, okay, I'm thinking Parting Shot makes a lot of sense here. The Flutter main doesn't take damage on close combat. You get a free Instant back in. You get Fake Out. You get another Intimidate round. And then it's like really hard for me to knock out, but... unfortunately, just it was just a call there, I think, and it was just wrong. I was expecting Specs Pagos on this team, so that ended up being pretty bad. And then, well, I get paralyzed multiple times, but that's fun to wave. Also, like, even if, like, let's say I didn't get paralyzed, I got the Flare Blitz off in Indity. Wait, did the Flare main take damage earlier? If the Flare main took damage, maybe it was just Flare Blitz KOing and I would have won. I don't think they took damage, though. I think they hard swapped, right? I'm pretty sure they hard swapped. I don't think I ever got an attack off. Oh, wait, no, I got a Psychic off earlier, didn't I? I did get a Psychic off. Oh, there was a world maybe if I didn't get paralyzed on the Incineroar. But Flare Blitz would have had to KO the Flare main. It is Speed Booster too. I guess then I should just close combat it. I don't know. I still think if they go for the parting shot, I don't think there's an easy way if I go for the CC anyway. Yeah, it was just calling whether the instant goes for parting shot or if it was whether it was just going to stay in, I think. I think if I didn't get paralyzed that one turn, though, I actually think I could have won because I think I could have just flared with KO'd the flutter and then instant wasn't going to be able to do as much damage. Or instant would have been able to be fine because it wasn't intimidated at all in the final turns, but all right, let's go over the games. In game one, thankfully there was no Farigiraf as I was anticipating, and was just able to get some really quick knockouts at the start of the game and position extremely well for a Screamtail clean up end game. In game two, I have no idea why the graphics were glitching. The Thunder Wave on the Fluttermane was a bit annoying, but across the board I was just able to pick up some really early knockouts and thankfully not got paralyzed on the turns that mattered while setting up for a very strong Perish game cleanup. In game three, not sure about this lead. I know my opponent had a huge struggle because they had very few pivot moves if they didn't have Volt Switch on the Raging Bolt, but very surprised with the mode they decided to go for because it just ended up going pretty poorly because I was just able to get the Perish counters up and they weren't really punishing my switches well, which I was just able to get rid of the Calix Ice Rider lead and then was pretty good against Ogerpon, Heartflame, and Amoonguss in the back with 4 Pokemon remaining. In game 4, oh boy, Necrozma Dawnwings I think is a very terrifying mod for this team in general, but I was able to pivot around very nicely and caught them slacking by going for a knockoff play, getting heavily punished as Perish Song counters were ticking down, and then I was just able to trap them in thanks to the fact that they went for the knockoff. So I was just able to get 2 knockouts, and my opponent realized that they probably were losing this game and forfeited. In game 5, really glad I played aggressive to try and get rid of Grimmsnarl. The Calix Shadow Rider was still a massive threat across the board. I did have to rely on going for my Terra Screamtail, which means I couldn't really go for the Terra with my Koraidon to pick up the knockout on the Calix Shadow Rider, but with the combination of having the Incineroar as well as the Friendguard Clefairy, I don't think it was that much mattering. But the fact that I was able to find that final KO into the Incineroar was massive. The fact that I just bullied the Shadow Rider using Encore and Disable was pretty big in the fact of it switching or just staying in and being in an unfavorable position. Felt like it was great for setting up for an endgame Perish to clean up the final 2. In game 6, I felt like I did get the start wrong because I was not expecting it to be the Choice Specs Terapagos on this team, but I guess it kind of makes sense. I think it could have gone either way. I was expecting more of a leftover set because they had the double redirection, but the fact that it was a Choice Spec set really just did not have it being a great start to the game. However, I was able to somehow find myself a position to knock out the Koraidon for the knockout. I still ended up taking a lot of damage across the board, and it really just was able to, I think, come down to if I read the Incineroar switching in, I maybe could have got Koraidon in earlier, but it was really just that last turn. Do I read the parting shot play or do I read the Helping Hand knockoff? I didn't think the Helping Hand knockoff would KO, and it didn't, so I could have maybe got the KO on Incineroar, and I think it would have been a really strong endgame for me to win, but just got the call wrong, unfortunately, and it did not work out. This team I thought was really impressively built the way it was constructed. The Koraidon with the Sun to help against the Urshifu, enable the Fluttermane as an offensive piece, but also the Koraidon with the Life Orb just makes so much more of a difference compared to Clear Amulet. Able to dish out so much damage to close combat and the Flare Blitz. The close combat especially, normally we see Collision Course, but close combat enabling the extra knockouts is really impressive, and you don't really care about the defense draws because this mod is super fragile with the way it's built. You have the fake out support with the Gothitelle as well, the Shadow Tag that can just enable Koraidon to do as much damage, set up the Perish Song. It's just so many different things that you have to think about when using this team, and I think it's just really a great combination in general. If you would like to check out the details of the recreation, they'll be linked available in the description. If you'd like to check out Wolf, he'll be linked in the description as well. And of course, subscribe to the channel for more VGC content as always.